Hello guys, today we're going to be working on this Amana side-by-side refrigerator. The complaint is that it's freezing everything on the refrigerator side. This is an Amana made by Whirlpool, so this repair will apply for Amana, Maytag, and Whirlpool models. The model number is on the display. Welcome to DIY Repair Now. Read all the warnings, and during this video you will see one or more of these icons to help you do this repair safe. Now, as I mentioned before, the complaint is that it's freezing everything on the refrigerator compartment, especially on the top shelf. However, this repair has to do with a temperature control thermostat, but this case is a little different, and this is the reason why I decided to do this repair, because when we got there, it was on defrost mode. So if you see, that is the heat element that is red because it's on and it's really hot. So it's on defrost mode. So how can this refrigerator be freezing the food and the refrigerator side if the heat element is coming on and everything? So I'm going to explain to you that in a little bit. This is the air hole vent, so you got to make sure that is not blocked with ice. I just got to let you know, just in case you were wondering why you see a light right there, and you got to make sure it's not blocked with any ice or anything. But again, the reason why this refrigerator is doing this is because of this part, not the knob. Is the thermostat that is behind the knob that is causing this issue. This thermostat got stuck on the on position. Now, most of the time, this thermostat will get stuck on the off position, so this repair would apply if your refrigerator is not cooling at all. It also will work intermittently if you slam the door, if you bang it, or if you hit it, or you make any vibration, it will come on, so it will work intermittently. But this time, this video is special because that heat element was on and it was on defrost mode, and it got me confused, and I never had this situation where when I start working, it was on defrost mode. Now, if you want to make sure if your refrigerator is not turning on at all, you can bang it, just hit the bottom of this thermostat, and if it comes on, you definitely know that you need to replace this thermostat. But again, in this scenario was totally different. I have a couple of videos on my channel where the refrigerator was not coming on at all, or it was working intermittently. I got there, I banged and hit that thermostat, and it came on, and that tells me straight up that it was the temperature control thermostat. You can test this with the multimeter by ohms or by continuity. But again, if it comes on, sometimes when you do some kind of vibration, that multimeter will not do any help for you. Disconnect the appliances before you start working on it to avoid electric shock. And I'm going to keep addressing in this video that is a little different than the other videos that I have in my channel, because it was on defrost mode when I got here. I'll go ahead and use a flathead or a putty knife to remove these knobs, because sometimes they can get stuck really hard. Once you remove those knobs, you will realize that you're removing the one for the refrigerator side and the one for the freezer. Now, keep in mind, the freezer is what controls the vent in the back to allow how much air you allow to the refrigerator side. And sometimes that will work the opposite. If you put it in colder, you block in the vent because we're talking about the freezer. If you put it on cool, then it will allow more air, because again, we're talking about the freezer, so it will allow more air coming into the refrigerator side. So we remove the bulb out of the way, and we're getting everything out to be able to have some room to work with this thermostat. Now we're going to remove the top rack. And now we're going to go ahead and remove the two 1/4 screws that are holding this from control panel. The two Phillips screws that holds these two covers. The ones are covered the wire and the thermostat wire that goes all the way to the vent. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the thermostat wire from the vent and go ahead and take pictures, because believe me, If you don't take pictures or you don't watch this video when you're doing the repair, you're gonna forget how the wire was in that vent housing. As you see, that's the old thermostat tubing, and we're gonna remove this top cover. And as you see, there's two metal tabs that goes to those metal female connections right there, and that's how this is secure on the front. Just keep in mind, because you're gonna need to put it where it is when you put everything back together, otherwise it's just gonna be hanging. Now we're gonna remove the main control connection or harness, and this is the harness for the light wiring. This is the ground wire. Just remember where it was connected, because you're gonna have to put it back in the same spot. Once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and start getting loose the terminals from the old thermostat. And I'm sorry, but my camera tilted up in this footage, and some of this footage is gonna be out of the frame, but I wanna go ahead and try to let you know as the video going what is going on. Now at this point, we're just trying to remove the thermostat wire and also the actual thermostat from this control housing, and we're going to do that by removing everything out of the way and remove the two Phillips screws that are holding the whole bracket where the thermostat is attached to it. So if you remove these two Phillips screws, the whole bracket will come loose. I have a couple more videos, like I said, on my channel where I do this repair differently, and just choose however way it works best for you. And a very good tip, guys, go ahead and take pictures before and after you disassemble or assemble anything, and I'm gonna explain to you that later on this video, how that can help you, because I took some pictures before I removed things, and I also had this video, but after that I wasn't sure if I have left anything behind. If you want to order this part, if you want to buy this part, go ahead and click the link down below in the description of this video, because in this footage you cannot really see what is the part number. So just go to the description of this video and you will find a link right there. Just click on it and it will take you to whoever sell this part. There's many sources right there, and they will tell you what part number is the one you need. Now we're going to go ahead and stretch out this tubing for the new thermostat, and we're just going to go ahead and try to manage to get it into the new into the bracket where it was attached before. Remember, this was secured by two 1/4 screws, and just put it on the front, and that's how you will put the two 1/4 screws, and that's how it's going to be secure on this bracket. Then you're going to go ahead and put it back on the actual housing. I'm using the drill, but you can also use a 1/4 screwdriver if it works best for you, because sometimes the drill can be too too hard for you, or it can turn your hand around and things like that. So make sure you wear gloves and things like that. Now we're going to go ahead and try to guide this new thermostat wire, comparing with the old one. This is what I do because, like I said, I have many times where I forgot how the other wire was connected, and it gave me a little hard time. You want to be in and out. If you're a technician, if you're a homeowner, you don't want to keep going back and forth in pictures on your phone and things like that. But if you have to do it, you have to do it. Now we're going to go ahead and put everything back in place. Again, I am sorry for this footage, guys, but as you see, in some scenarios I do show some good footage. Remember, the freezer knob have to be guided with the other piece. Just keep in mind, I didn't have that good in this footage, but that is what controls that metal wire. See, this is the stuff that happens, and I just leave it here in this video. That way you guys can see. If you have somebody to help you, holding this other piece. The reason why I don't remove that metal wire is because I have some videos where I remove completely everything out of the way, and people having a lot of trouble putting everything back together. So I have different scenarios. You just choose however you want. Just put the 2 Phillips screws that secures that the metal bracket in place. As you see right there, guys, it's just that, my camera, when I was working on it, it tilted up. I didn't realize that, but again, I tried to get the best footage, and I'm telling you in an over voice how to do this repair and how to do it yourself. Again, if you remove them and you take some pictures, it's very simple. It's not hard at all. If your refrigerator is not working, or was working intermittently, or is freezing the food, this will take care of that issue. Go ahead and plug the ground wire where it goes, the light harness back again, and also the main control. This is what brings power to everything, to that board in the corner. Go ahead and put the front of the board housing on those 2 metal tops on the top, and that's what controls the front part in place. Now you're gonna secure the back of the board's housing with 1/4 screws. There's 2 1/4 screws that secures this part in place, as you see right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the wire and his housing, and this is what I'm telling you guys. This gave me a lot of trouble a couple times when I was doing this repairs, but now this is the way I do it, and it's just easier for me. Now this cover has a male to female connection in the back, which secures the back, and then it's secured on the front by a Phillips screws. Yes, like so. Once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and put this cover. This is the cover that secures those thermostat wire and the damper metal wire. And this is also a Phillips screw. Once you do that, we're gonna go ahead and put the knobs back in place. You don't get confused because they are not the same. They are totally different, and they only go one way. So just look for the right direction. This is for the freezer. Remember, if you go more cold, you turn it off, basically the refrigerator. If you go colder, you close in the damper, and if you go cold, you open the damper. So just put it on recommendation setting. This is where my situation went a little crazy. I put everything back together, put the shelf back together, and then as you can see right now, I got it on the off setting. Now I'm gonna go and plug the refrigerator back in, and everything should start working fine. But in this scenario, it didn't come on, and it's not because I did anything wrong. It's because it was on defrost mode when I took everything apart, and that's what made this video a little different compared to the other ones I already have. Now I put in recommendation setting. I'm not hearing any fan, I'm not hearing any compressor, I'm not hearing anything. And at this time I was wondering if I probably left anything loose, or I didn't connect something inside the board compartment, and I decided to get everything loose, because if it was the board, I kind of think that it could be the board that is still on defrost mode, because it's in defrost mode. You're not going to see the red heat element light up either, because the heat element has his own thermostat. So if it's already defrost, that heat element is not going to come on, but the board is still doing his thing. He's on timer. He's resting the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. So I don't know how long the defrost mode was going on when I got to the repair. So I plug everything back together. At this point, you don't see anything there, but I'm just making sure that everything was connected and everything was fine. I just take off everything because I have nothing else to do. I mean, I either check if everything is connected, or I gotta wait into the board finish the defrost mode cycle and it will come on. So once I verified that everything that I've done was right and it was nothing loose or anything like that, I start putting everything back together. Again, I leave this piece because I want you guys to see that you might run into some of these situations and you might think that you have done something wrong, but no, you just gotta wait. Okay, so right now you see I got it on the off position, but then I turn it on and everything came on and everything started working fine. When I'm editing this video, it's been a couple hours and nothing is wrong with it. Everything is working fine. So if this video helped you in any way, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.